Imagine starting your career at the very bottom, as an intern bursting with dreams, but instead of encouragement, you face humiliation and disrespect. Sounds harsh, right? Unfortunately, that's the reality for many people. But today, I want to share a story that flips the script and has a truly surprising ending. It's about how determination and hard work can not only transform careers, but completely rewrite your destiny. Think about it. What would you do if everyone around you doubted your potential? If your boss constantly reminded you that you were just an intern, someone easily replaceable and insignificant? Most folks might throw in the towel, look for another gig, or just settle into that role. But the hero of our story took a different path. He turned every discouraging word, every tedious task, and every dismissive glance into fuel for his fire. He decided he wouldn't let others define him. Instead, he'd let his actions and relentless drive speak for him. He realized that personal growth starts from within. It's not about the title on your business card. It's about the mindset you bring to the table. While his peers clocked out at 5, Ace decided not to impress anyone, but to learn everything he could. He volunteered for projects that no one else wanted, took on extra tasks, and spent his free time diving into market research. He didn't see those additional responsibilities as burdens. He viewed them as golden opportunities to understand every little cog in that company's machine. His goal? To know the business inside and out, even better than those who underestimated him. This solitary journey of self-improvement was shaping him into not just a better professional, but a future leader. Brick by brick, he was building the foundation of his own empire, even if no one else could see it yet. Fast forward 10 years. What happens in a decade? For many, it's a series of small promotions, or maybe a job change. But for our former intern, those 10 years were the stage for one of the most remarkable transformations you could imagine. That same young man who once served coffee and was told he'd never go anywhere, now sat in the most important chair in the company. The owner's chair. How did that happen? It wasn't magic, luck, or inheritance. It was the result of a decade filled with unwavering focus and hard work. After his internship, he landed a junior position at another company, but he never lost sight of his bigger goal. Every experience, every challenge, and every new connection was a piece of his grand puzzle. He learned about finance, marketing, and people management. He didn't just perform his tasks. He studied the reasons behind each one. He became an expert at problem-solving, spotting opportunities where others only saw obstacles. Determination was his compass. In a world full of distractions, where it's easy to lose your way, he stayed true to his purpose. Sure, there were tough moments, times when he thought about giving up, when exhaustion felt overwhelming. But then, he'd remember that feeling of humiliation and the promise he made to himself to prove his worth. That memory wasn't a burden. It was a source of energy. Determination is that force that lifts you when you fall, that pushes you to try again, even after failing 99 times. As he climbed the career ladder at various companies, he never forgot that first experience. He watched the leaders around him, learning what to do and, more importantly, what not to do. He noticed how some leaders inspired their teams while others, like his old boss, crushed them with arrogance and disdain. He vowed that when it was his turn to lead, he would be different. He would empower others, recognize talent, and create opportunities for growth. The big turning point came when the company where he started his career hit a severe financial crisis. Years of poor management and a lack of innovation brought it to the brink of collapse. While the market saw a failing company, he saw a golden opportunity. With the experience he'd gained, the network he'd built, and the capital he'd saved from his own ventures, he made a bold offer to buy the company. Many called him crazy. Why buy a sinking ship? But he understood the potential of that brand. He knew the mistakes that had been made because he'd witnessed them from the bottom. He had a clear plan to restructure the business, modernize processes, and, most importantly, foster a new corporate culture based on respect and valuing people. When the deal was done, and he walked into that building not as an intern but as the new owner, the feeling was indescribable. He strolled through the same hallways where he once walked with his head down, but now his gaze was filled with confidence and a vision for the future. And here's the kicker. His old boss, the one who had belittled him, was still there, stuck in a mid-level management position, paralyzed by the very arrogance that had kept him from growing. Their encounter was inevitable, but it wasn't about revenge or humiliation. It was just a look that said it all. The best response he could give wasn't with words, but with his success. This story of overcoming adversity is a powerful reminder of how crucial focus is on a leader's journey. Focus isn't just about saying yes to the right things. It's also about saying no to countless other distractions. Our protagonist said no to laziness, no to distractions, and no to the negative opinions of others. He channeled all his energy into a clear and specific goal, to become the best version of himself and build something extraordinary. Think of focus like a laser. Regular light spreads out in all directions, but a laser concentrates all its energy on one single point, becoming powerful enough to cut through steel. The same goes for our careers. When we scatter our attention, progress is slow, but when we zero in on a goal, our ability to achieve multiplies exponentially. For him, the initial goal was simple: learn as much as possible. Then it shifted to be the best in his field. And finally, it evolved into build and lead a successful company based on his values. Each stage required a different type of focus, but his ability to direct his efforts kept him on the right path. Too often, we lose our way because our goals are vague. I want to be successful. I want to make more money. I want to be happy. Those aren't goals. They're wishes. Real focus demands clarity. I'm going to learn this new skill in the next 3 months. I am going to save X% of my salary to invest in my own business. I'm going to make one new professional connection each week. Those are clear, measurable goals that guide our daily actions. This entrepreneur's journey serves as a manual for turning adversity into triumph. The humiliation he faced could have crushed him, but he transformed it into motivation. This teaches us a valuable lesson. We can't control what others do or say, but we can fully control how we react. We can choose to be victims, or we can choose to be the heroes of our own stories. His determination was tested time and again. Imagine the sleepless nights, personal sacrifices, and financial risks he took. The success we see at the end is just the tip of the iceberg. Beneath the surface lies a mountain of hard work, discipline, and resilience. Stories like this remind us that there are no shortcuts to lasting success. It's a marathon, not a sprint. What's truly inspiring about his journey is that he didn't just achieve personal success, he used his position to create a positive work environment. Once he became the owner, one of his first initiatives was to establish a development program for interns, ensuring they received mentorship, respect, and real opportunities for growth. He broke the cycle of humiliation and replaced it with a cycle of empowerment. He became the leader he wished he'd had at the start of his career. This illustrates the true mark of a great leader. It is not about how high you climb, but how many people you help rise with you. His success didn't become complete when he purchased the company. It became complete when he began to transform the lives of those within it. So, what's the takeaway for our own lives? First, never underestimate the power of determination and hard work. Your efforts today are laying the groundwork for your success tomorrow, even if no one else sees it. Second, use adversity as fuel. Criticism and obstacles can be your greatest teachers if you let them. Third, maintain focus. Set clear goals and work towards them daily with discipline and consistency. And lastly, it doesn't matter where you're starting from. You might be the intern today, but with a right mindset and a solid action plan, there are no limits to where you can go. Your current position doesn't define your destiny. Your potential is limitless. The story of this former intern who became the owner of the company isn't just a business tale. It's a story about the human spirit, our ability to overcome, transform, and achieve the extraordinary. Let this journey inspire you to view your own challenges in a new light, not as barriers, but as stepping stones. Every step, no matter how small, brings you closer to the top. Believe in yourself, even when no one else does. Work hard, stay focused, and get ready to write your own success story. Thanks for sticking around until the end. If this story resonated with you, give it a thumbs up. share it with someone who needs to hear this message, and subscribe for more content like this. Catch you next time.